Hello everyone, Koga here, and today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a everything you need to know video about Borderlands 4. The Borderlands 4 PAX East Gearbox show ended a few hours ago, and we got a bunch of brand new information. Most of it's good news, and a little bit of bad news, but we'll cross the bad news bridge when we get there, but most of it is good news. So I got here a TLDR Reddit post of everything from the PAX East show. So let's go over that. First, they talked about a little bit of the story about Lilith teleporting Outbists away from Pandora at the end of Borderlands 3, which we already knew. And there was a question about where the rest of the Crimson Raiders, like Brick, Mordecai, Tannis, Ava. Now, it said that they split up to look for Lilith, and we will see them in Borderlands 4. Hopefully not Ava. I don't know. Now, they did talk about the Timekeeper, the main antagonist of BL4. And the Timekeeper wants everything under his control to maintain his order by spreading propaganda around Kairos and basically outlawed vault hunting. He doesn't like vault hunting, so he outlawed it. But until Elpis came after Lilith teleported away, it disturbed the Timekeeper's order, and the citizens of Kairos are now rising up to fight back. And they touch more about the cyberkinetic things that are attached to their spines to control them, and rip them out can either free you or cause you to die. It's very insane. Now they talk more about the Vault Hunters. Vex especially. She has her third action skill, Deadringer, which basically are her summons, like similar to Digiclones, like Zane from Borderlands 3. And they did say that there's a class mod in the game that lets you give your gear to your clones, like Zane. So that is pretty awesome. And I might end up playing as her in the game. They also talked about Rafa, the TDR soldier, who's going to die at any time because the exosuit TDR gave him. Like, he could die at any moment, but it doesn't stop him from enjoying his life. He has energy blades, laser guns, and shoulder-mounted cannons. Then we have Harlow, the Gravatar. Now, for those who don't know, they confirmed this in the State of Play. Well, not the State of Play, they confirmed this on their website, but Harlow is a member of the famous family in Borderlands 3, the Trant family. She has 5 PhDs, and she is like Maya, where she uses gravity to slam enemies and pick them up like phase lock. So yeah, she has more gadgets that will be revealed in due time. And we'll find the final Vault Hunter, Amon the Forge Knight. He's used to be a member of a Vault Monster worshipping cult until a Vault Monster killed everyone he knew and loved, and swore to get revenge on every Vault Hunter. No, not every Vault Monster that he sees. Also, I apologize for the dogs barking in the background. I'm sorry. And he's got a lot of weapons: swords, axe, a hammer, shield, spear, whip. The list goes on. Now they talked a bit about Kairos itself, the planet we're pretty much going to be exploring for the rest of the game. It's a big world. It's very big. And they did talk about no loading times, like kind of an open world game. Seamlessly explore, no load times. I don't know if it will actually not have load times, so we'll have to wait and see on that. They also talked about the weather system that's going to be in this game. Now they mentioned it briefly in the state of play, but now they're mentioning it. But they mentioned it on. They touched a little bit more on that. It can range from rain to storms, dust, snow. They won't have any impact on gameplay, so no damage bonuses or debuffs, but it could affect your vision, obscurity, and hard to aim and locate targets. Now, I hope it's not too obnoxious, like performance wise. So hopefully it's not too distracting. Now, alongside story missions, there's also world bosses that you can fight to get good loot and catch a ride. As we already know, you can summon your vehicle from anywhere and they are going to be customizable to your liking. Then the movement options, you can grapple, double jump, glide, wall climb, and all that crap. Now, they did talk about one feature that is not in Borderlands 4, the minimap. If you've seen the discourse online about the game not having a minimap instead of the compass system, it was kind of wild. And they talked about why it's not in Borderlands 4. So, it's a very big world. And they basically saying it's a very big world. And a local space map is not a good way to navigate when thinking about objectives. And a compass helps them do that. And they want you to play the game and not the map. And there's Echo 4, which is our robot companion that will be helping us through the entire game. So basically, they're going with the compass system, no minimap. No minimap. Echo 4 is pretty much going to be your GPS. Now, they did say that they might add a minimap to the game in the future, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Personally, I don't mind the compass system. I dealt with it when I first played Borderlands 1, because that's the game where it did not have a minimap at the start. So I really don't mind. I would prefer a minimap, but it really doesn't bother me too much. Now, Echo 4. They talk more about Echo 4. It gives you options to upgrade your SDUs. So, one thing that was pointed out in the trailer, that when you go into your inventory in Borderlands 4, you see they have SDUs in the menu. So that means you can go upgrade your SDUs from the menu instead of going to a vendor where you have to upgrade SDUs. And they will give you your rewards, like from completing missions. So you don't have to talk to Lilith for the 30th time. They know the meme. And you can also customize Echo 4. Now they talked about the gun system. The 8 manufacturers, 5 returning, Jacobs, Malawan, Vladov, TDR, Torek, and 3 new ones, the Ripper clan, which is fully automatic guns, Douglas, which uses multiple ammo types, and Order, which is a charge and release type weapon manufacturer, similar to Malawan and BL3, which nobody liked. And now they talked about the parts system a bit, and the 3 manufacturers are going to be parts only that sponsor guns. Are Hyperion, COV, and Atlas. And the parts system can get pretty crazy. So basically, purple can have a bunch of epic rarity, which is purple, can have a bunch of parts. On them spawning. So it can make purples really viable. And they did mention this. There is no crafting system in the game. You cannot modify or craft a weapon with the parts that you might want or need. What you get is what you get. And honestly, I'm glad they said that because Borderlands is a farming game, and adding a crafting system to Borderlands would kind of defeat the whole purpose of Borderlands existing. Because farming is what makes Borderlands Borderlands. So I'm glad crafting is not in the game. Like, if you want crafting in Borderlands, that is fine, but we are better off without it. Alright, now guns can have underbarrels. Like, this is not new to Borderlands. Borderlands 3 introduced this, ultimate fire modes. But these can now spawn on other guns. So for example, if you have a Jacob's pistol that can spawn with a Vladov part, it will shoot mini rockets. Now they touched on enhancements. They were artifacts in BL3, but now they're replacing it in BL4. So these basically give buffs to your manufacturer. For example, if you favor Jacob's crit bullet ricochet, you can have another weapon with a Jacob's license part with these enhancements. And there's a lot of stuff about them. Now, they did talk about the thing under the enhancements called airstrike. Those 0 out of 3 things. They're called firmware. They are set bonuses. And it says used to boost the power of your gear when multiple of the same set is equipped. You get a boost in damage or utility in these gear sets, so that's pretty neat. I wonder how that's going to work out. Now, they did mention ordnance, which is a new slot for grenades and heavy weapons like rocket launchers. Basically, they don't take up a space in your inventory. They are now a cooldown thing where you use them for a few seconds and it goes away and it's on cooldown. So no more saving rocket ammo for big bosses. Ordnance is now basically your cooldown timer. And this is going to be on grenades too, so you don't spam grenades, and they will have more impact than they have in previous games. And grenades will also have licensed parts, just like guns, so that's going to be whack. Now, shields. Shields are going to be in the game, go figure, but a new shield type is added called armor. It's more of an offensive focused shield type that will basically recharge when you take hits. I don't know how they said it, but it's basically that. Now, they did talk about builds, and this is going to be the most diverse build setting in this game. Like, skill trees are about 2 to 3 times bigger than before, and you can have the same active skills depending on your builds, can be used and played totally differently, and all 4 party members could use trouble, and they could play differently. So build diversity is going to go pretty nutty. Now they talked about... Now here's where we get into the very good news that people are so happy to hear about, myself included. And that's about the gear chase. And with so many behaviors added to the game and new manufacturers enhancements, players should not be bombarded with too many loot at once. So this was an issue in Borderlands 3 where legendaries dropped very, very often. When you kill a boss, you get like 4 or 5 legendaries, and that's a bit too much. Like every time you kill something, you get a legendary. And that kind of defeats the reason why it's called legendary. This was a problem in BL3, and they made it where in Borderlands 4 they fixed it, and it's gonna make it where legendaries will drop less often, a lot less, and actually feel like legendary. So that is very neat. And they did reveal one legendary that's called the Ruby's Grasp. And that's the gun we saw at the end of the state of play, and it was fighting that boss with the multiple hands. And it drops from that boss, they said. I think. Yeah. And you probably noticed I said dropped from that boss. And I am happy to say that they confirmed it. They did it. Borderlands 4 will have dedicated drops at launch. And this is the best news to come out of this entire thing. Thank you. Borderlands 3 did not have dedicated farming at launch. It was upsetting. That wasn't added until later in the game's life cycle. And Borderlands did not have it at all. So seeing dedicated drops at launch is very exciting. And they talked about co-op. And it will have dynamic level scaling. So if you're level 1 and you enter someone's game who's level 20, then it'll be based around your level. And enemies for your friend will be based around their level. So that's cool. And it will have full crossplay at launch, which is awesome. Fast travel to your friends instantly. Great. They reworked the lobby with quality of life improvements. And just like in Borderlands 3, instance loot will also be returning. If you don't know what that is, basically, like if you beat a boss and you get a legendary, then your friend gets a same copy of that legendary from the boss. So no more people stealing your loot. Everyone gets their own loot. So that's great. And yeah, that's basically it for all that. And there is a bit of a Q&A. And there's a bit of a Q&A too. Now the first question was, are Invincibles coming? Are Invincibles back? They did confirm Invincibles will be back, but they didn't say at launch, and they didn't say how many, and we'll find that out at another time. Also, the vaults, there's going to be multiple vaults in the game where you can explore them, and they are repeatable. So after you run it through the first time, you can do it again. And there's probably a boss at the end where you can farm for loot. So, yeah. And then there's another question. And this one is pretty important if you're going to buy this game. They asked about the price of this game. And Randy does not know the price of Borderlands 4. He doesn't know. The only one who knows the price are going to be the publishers of this game, which is Take-Two. And look, at the least, I hope Borderlands 4 is $70. If it's $80, I don't know. I want to play this game, but paying $80 for games, and with Nintendo charging Mario Kart World $80, then that, and with the recent news that Xbox is raising the prices of not only their consoles, but also their games to $80. So, yikes. I'm hoping it's not 80. I'm hoping for 70. And there's all the talks of GTA 6 going to be costing $100. And I'm finding this pretty confusing because there's another game from 2K releasing that's called Mafia: The Old Country, and that game is only going to cost $50. Now, it could be a small game, which is why they're charging $50 for that game, but we don't know. I'm hoping for $70. They did say pre-orders will start soon, and they did hint at a collector's edition, so hopefully it's at the least $70. Moving on, They did talk about Ordinite. It's that orange thing that drops on enemies, like iridium, except they said it's not a currency, but it blows shit up. I don't know what they mean by that, so we'll have to see more. What else they say? Let's see. What else they mention? Oh, another important thing regarding rarity. Now, this could be Randy trolling, because he likes to troll sometimes and joke around. But he might have teased that pearlescent weapons are pearlescent rarity is coming back. Probably not at launch, but it's coming back. Like he went like, you got your whites, your greens, your blues, your purples, your orange, your pearl, and he cut off after he said pearl and stopped. He almost said pearlescent and stopped. So he could be trolling or just teasing us. So we'll have to wait and see on that. And that is pretty much it. That's all you need to know from the Borderlands 4 PAX East 2025 show. I want to know what you guys think about all this information in the comment section below. Personally, I'm very excited for this game, especially with dedicated farming at launch. It's going to be awesome. And I hope the story is at least decent. Like, I'm not expecting the greatest story ever, but I just want a good story. That's it. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Sunget Koga, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!